Reasons why China is sticking to their guns in this trade war with Trump. The reason China ain't backing down from Donald Trump in this whole tariff thing is because they don't gotta. China's got more grit than anyone else to weather this storm. See, because before this whole tariff war started, China was selling a whole heap of stuff to the US, even though it only made up about 2% of their whole economy. Now, the Communist Party, they'd rather not have this trade war with the US, especially because they've been dealing with their own money troubles after years of problems in the housing market, a whole lot of debt, and young folks not being able to find jobs. But the government's been telling their people they're in a good spot to handle whatever the US throws at them. Trump's been telling his supporters it'd be a piece of cake to make China give in just by putting on these tariffs. But that ain't what happened. China's leader, Xi Jinping, told Spain's president, Pedro Sanchez, that their countries and the whole European Union ought to team up to stand up to Trump's government and their bully tactics. Down the road, if China and the US can't come to an agreement, things could get real ugly. This trade war could really mess up the world's economy, seeing as China sells more stuff to other countries than almost anyone else, and the US buys more stuff than anyone else. This could lead to a worldwide recession and really shake things up in the financial world. China's been in tough spots before. Back in the 1990s, China had a big money crisis that really hurt their economy and made them change a lot of things. Then, in the 2000s, China had a housing crisis that caused a whole bunch of money problems. Now, about what China can do, they've already started putting their own tariffs on stuff we sell them tit for tat, just like we put tariffs on their stuff. Plus, China and the European Union are talking about swapping out European tariffs on Chinese cars for a price floor, so as to stop another round of dumping cheap cars on the European market. Basically, China's got a few ways to fight back in this trade war. They can keep raising their tariffs, they can team up with the European Union, or they can try to work something out with the US. But it's important to remember this trade war could really mess things up for everyone, and we gotta find a peaceful way to fix it. The fallout from this trade war could be pretty darn bad. First off, it could really hurt the world economy, leading to a worldwide recession and making things real shaky in the financial world. This global recession could also make things unstable politically in China, maybe even causing some political and social unrest. A financial crisis could also weaken China's financial system, which could lead to a banking crisis and folks losing faith in banks. The real estate market would take a hit too, which could cause another economic crisis and people losing their jobs. This trade war could make people nervous about investing in China, leading to less foreign investment and making the Chinese currency worth less. The whole system of getting stuff from factories to stores could get messed up too, meaning stores might not have enough stuff and prices could go up. Lastly, this trade war could hurt countries working together, making it harder for them to cooperate on things like trade, investment, and security. Plus, it could hurt China's reputation around the world, making folks less confident in their economy and political stability. Looking back, we can see China's had a few rough patches with their economy. In the 1990s, a financial crisis really messed things up, which led to a lot of changes. This crisis happened because the Chinese currency was worth too much and the economy wasn't managed well. In the 2000s, China had a housing crisis because house prices got way too high and again, the economy wasn't being run right. Then, in the 2010s, there was a crisis in manufacturing because they made too much stuff and, well, you get the picture. Similar situations include the Korean War from 1950 to 1953, where China didn't back down even though they were fighting the US and South Korea. The Asian financial crisis in 1997 also hurt China's economy, as did the housing crisis in 2008 and the manufacturing crisis in 2010. In 2011, China had a political crisis that caused social and economic problems because the government wasn't doing a good job and people were losing faith in the economy. It's real important to remember this trade war could have some seriously bad consequences for the whole world's economy, and it's super important to find a peaceful solution. History's shown us that when the economy and politics aren't handled right, things can go south real fast. That's why it's so important for political and economic leaders to work together to find a peaceful solution and avoid bad things happening to the world's economy.